Welcome to Nightlight. Step away from the mainstream and gather around as we enlighten the world and our realities and travel this cosmic journey we call life. Join us as we share with you and provide that beacon that can guide us all to a better way. Explore with us as we examine a metaphysical montage of spiritual insights, covering everything from the mundane to the magical, UFOs to unicorns, and everything in between. This is a time of awakening, of sharing and evolving, of spreading our wings and soaring on the cosmic breath of creation. Come and join with other light-minded spirits as we weave our lights together to seek understanding, enlightenment, and with a little luck, some wisdom. This is Nightlight, a reminder that you are never alone.
Hi, everybody. So glad you could join me tonight. As you can see, the pollen has gotten to me again, but I have a voice. So we're going to be able to do the show, hopefully. Jeannie is on sabbatical for a while, so I have sort of pulled in kind of voluntarily my partner in crime, my tech, who is going to help me tonight with telling me who's here and who needs a reading, and so be kind to him. He hasn't done this before. So let's just hope that, he can. I'm trying to see everything all at once. I'm not doing a good job. So anyhow, I'm delighted to be able to do readings again. I've been looking forward to this. And since Blog Talk went out of business, we've kind of been down and not been able to. And so this is my first attempt at doing free readings this way, and with your help, we'll be able to keep doing it twice a month. We're certainly going to do it one more time this month, and we'll just see where it goes from there. I think that one of the important things I want to sort of get over to you is that if you want a reading, put it in caps in the comment section, and Greg will know to pull it from there and filter it to me. So we're kind of new at doing it this way. So please be patient with me as I stumble through this. I'm going to hang in there as long as there are those of you who want to have a reading out there. Also, please go to the website, barbaradelong.com, and sign up for the circle so you will know when we're going to be doing the free readings again. If you don't get in tonight, then you can hopefully get in another time. So that said, it does look like there are a few people there. Thank you for joining me. It's so nice to know there are other people out there listening. Greg, who do we have?
Okay, how you doing, Barbara? Yes, we have a few people. The first one is Barbara Larson. She says that she's asking if she will be financially stable.
We all would like to know that. Actually, I thrown cards for her already because I did notice she was there. Barb, it looks as though you've been through a lot of ups and downs. It looks as though you've pulled yourself out of trouble a number of times and then kind of slid back into old habits. From what I can see here, the only thing standing in the way of you being actually financially stable is you. It feels like you're going to be able to settle some issues that are kind of hanging over your head at the moment. And it feels as though that's going to be happening sometime towards the end of the month. Once you get stable again, the only thing you have to worry about is slipping back into old habits, because you've done that in the past. I feel strongly that you're at a time and a place in your life here where you really want to be able to have that stability for more than just a month. And it seems here as though you're at a place where you're making major changes. And with those major changes, it does feel as though you'll have the stability you want. It's going to be something you have to work on. We all have those places in our lives where we slip up and kind of fall back into old habits on occasion. I speak from experience here. And it does feel as though you're at a time where you're putting your foot down and you're not trying to correct everything all at once. You're going one thing at a time. And that's the good way to do it. And it does feel to me as though by the time we get to, by the time we get to August, you're in really, really good shape. By the time you get to September, there's a matter here of still working on yourself. You have to understand with issues like this, it's an ongoing challenge, and it's not something that can be, solved and then you don't have to, I've done that and I've been there, I can go on. It's something that you're going to have to keep your eye on, but it does feel as though you have a strong will and you've made a decision to make major changes in your life. And it does feel as though there are healings that are going on and that, yes, you're going to be financially stable. It's staying there that is going to be the challenge. And I think from what I see here, you're working very hard on it. And I do believe you're going to manage it very, very nicely. If that helps you. Okay. Let me gather my cards together here. Greg, do we have another person here?
We do. We have a bunch of people coming in. We have Eleanor. First, she made her first comment to say that she remembers you from Blog Talk.
Yay.
And then she said that she would love a reading if you have time.
Right now I got time. Since she didn't do a specific, I'm going to just take a quick look around to see what's most important for her to hear. I would say at this point in time, it's really important for you to pay attention to your intuition. Your intuition is very sharp, and you've been working on it. You tend to ignore it, but it does feel as though you're at a point in time here where paying attention to your intuition is going to help you to attract new people to yourself. And the element of abundance is coming in as well. I would say that this month of June is a great month for you because it does feel you're drawing abundance and compensation in from all different sides, so that allowing yourself to lead yourself instead of trying to figure out or making a list of bucket stuff or anything like that. Allow yourself to be drawn in the right direction, because it feels to me as though in the past you've let other people influence you. And while they were sincere in giving you advice, they could only give you advice according to their own frame of reference, which doesn't do you any good at all. So trusting to yourself and allowing yourself when confused to sit back and just wait for something to evolve in front of you. Don't feel pushed. It feels as though you're at a place in time here where you're very at home within yourself, and it does feel as though there are major changes coming into your life. So as these changes unfold and evolve, get more and more and more into any form of meditation, and let that meditation guide you and bring you peace and stability. You sometimes are so overwhelmed by a lot of things going on all around you that you kind of lose your footing. So it's important that you find stability, and with that stability will come the calm that enables the spirit within you to speak to you and through you, so that you're your own master teacher. And that's what you should be all along. You have an amazingly, profoundly wise spirit inside of you if you just listen. Okay? Hopefully that helps, because there's cool stuff here. And thank you for finding me again. I was lost for a while. Okay, Greg, anybody else?
Okay, so next up on YouTube, we have Chris Bakos, and he came on twice. And he asked, first he said, I want female companionship. And secondly, he said, I want a lifetime female companion. What do you see for me?
Well, they're two different things here. Let's just go for a lifetime, huh? Well, Chris, right? Chris
Bacchus.
Okay, Chris. I can see why you have trouble, because there's a great intensity inside of you that is very powerful. And from time to time, you can scare people away with your intensity. It feels to me here as though there's a lot of spiritual energy here. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. And it does feel as though that is a priority for the spirit inside of you. The spirit inside of you is etheric and it's spiritual. And your consciousness on the human side is normal. And so the two of them together don't always seem to want the same thing. It does feel here as though at this moment in time, there's a lot of energy going around in a lot of different directions. You need focus. You need stability. And with that focus and stability, you will create a magnetism that will draw someone to you that is not necessarily exactly like-minded, but will be able to be of an intellectual and consciousness level that will be able to be with you in a very beneficial way, not drawing from your energy, but rather combining energy with you for possibly a combined purpose at some point in time. It does feel as though you're attracting a lot of people to you. I would pay attention and look at the people that you are drawing to you, the people that are drawn to you, because we are magnets and we draw to ourselves people who represent a quality that we have within ourselves. So if the people that are now currently drawn to you are not exactly what you want, then you need to change something inside of you first in order to draw to you the powerful person that you want to come into your life. You have that power. You have that spiritual support, I guess is the best way to put it. And it does feel here as though oftentimes, this is interesting. Oftentimes you'll settle for something that is less than you feel you deserve because you're worried that what you really want won't come. And what you really want can't come if there's someone else in that chair. So be patient with yourself, because it does feel as though by the time we get to February, there are going to be two people in your life that could, either one of them could be a life partner. But right at the moment, you're putting out an energy that's drawing to you people that don't have their acts together, and therefore you will get bored with very, very rapidly. By the time we get to September, October, there's a sense here of a greater spiritual energy radiating from you, which is drawing to yourself people who have that same quality. They're looking for the same thing, not necessarily someone to complete them, but someone who will complement them, share with them. Not somebody who has the strengths that you want, but mirrors the strengths that you have. There's so much power here. There's so much intellect. There's so much wisdom. There's so much ambition that the kind of person that you want to draw to you right now would overwhelm you. So pay attention to what's coming your way. Fix yourself, because there are a few things you need to adjust slightly. And you'll find that certainly by the November, December timeframe, you're drawing to yourself the kind of people that you really want to spend time with. It's important for you to realize that you don't need to be the teacher. You need to be someone who shares. And right at the moment, all you're doing is teaching other people. And that's not what you're here for. I hope that helps you. because this is cool stuff. Okay. Okay. Almost ready, Greg.
Okay, we have Patty. She came in twice and she said, "Hi, Barbara. I would love a reading. Glad you are reading again." And she came back in and said that this is Patty, and I would love a general reading.
Okay. Actually, Patty, I never stopped reading. I don't know why people think I stopped reading. I have never stopped reading. I do private readings all the time. If somebody wants a private reading, a personal thing, you just go to the website, sign up for one. But let's see. Cool stuff. The central card is that of abundance, which really means that the next 12 months are going to be 12 months where you have abundance coming to you in many different ways, in many different forms. And understand that it doesn't mean necessarily that it's financial, but it will be partially financial. It does here appear to seem that the spotlight is falling on you, and so that people are paying a greater attention to you than they ever have before. And it's because you are sharing a lot of the inner wisdom that you have, that you've gathered over time. It does feel like as you hit July, you're going to be getting back into the books, and that there's a new balance here within your life, that you have been kind of skewed, kind of corkscrewish over the last couple of months, but I feel that there's greater stability here now. I would watch your balance. I would pay attention to not putting yourself in places and situations where you lose your balance, because that's when everything goes crazy for you. And balance is going to be very important in August, so pay attention to that. September has a lot of communication going on. It feels as though you have the opportunity to make changes if you want to. I think you want to. And it would be a good time to make the changes that I see here. October has compensation coming your way, and that does have a financial feel to it. It's compensation for what you've done and not expected anything back from. As you get into November, there's a sense here of home being your focus. It feels as though you're going to be working out of your home on some new projects that look pretty interesting, that could be very beneficial to you down the road. January has new harmony in your life, new creative and healing energies here. January has the sense here of, it's a spiritual hug. January is a time where usually it's cold out and miserable and stuff like that, but it feels like for you, January is going to be a warm hug, almost as though everything kind of comes to you that you didn't expect. It's a cool time. February has you focusing on yourself, making certain changes inside of you, and that brings out new qualities that will bring new people into your life. And as you get into the March timeframe, here's where two new people come into your life. One or both of them could be teachers of some sort, but they could also be possibilities for other kinds of partnership. April's a time where you commit yourself to some changes that you want to make. This is a time where I see you making major changes in your life. You may change your hair, you may change your living situation, you're committing yourself to new directions, and that's really important. And as you get into the month of May, there's a sense here of taking, it's funny. The month of May, it almost, I see you decluttering, getting rid of stuff you don't need, making room for new stuff. I'm not saying declutter and go, don't simplify. No, we're not Waldoing you, but it's getting rid of the old stuff that you've been tripping over. And it does feel like there are closets that, shame on you. I'm guilty too. There's just so much stuff crammed everywhere. it's time that you sort of get rid of that stuff and make room for new stuff. Okay? That's your year, so hope you paid attention. But this will be up on YouTube, and you'll be able to go and listen to it there and take notes. Okay, Greg?
All right, great. I just wanted to let you know that Chris, I'll just put this up, said that was great, Barbara, and he said that I pronounced his name correctly, so that's good. All right, so next up is Pamela J. She said, when will I find my other half?
Okay. Well, for starters, you are a complete person. There's not half of you missing. I hate to give you, I mean, you know, you're complete, you're total, you're perfect. So there's nothing you need to complete yourself. Now, if you're wondering when you'll find someone who can share their life with you, that's a whole nother thing. In order to attract someone to you that would make you feel completer, more complete, you have to be complete within yourself. And I know this sounds like cliche, and you've probably heard it a million times, even from me. In order to have what you think you really want in your life, you have to become that. You have to become that total person, that secure person, that person that is content within themselves and not looking for somebody to complete them. Because if you are looking for someone to complete you, that'll never happen, because you have to be complete first. And I know what you're looking for is a partner. I understand that. So what I'm seeing here is working on yourself, becoming content within yourself. And that's a hard thing to do. But when you're at peace within yourself, when you have joy within yourself, when you're not looking to another person to bring those elements into your life, then you attract someone who is in the same position. And then between the two of you, you create a greater whole unit. But your other half, you know, you're complete. Both halves of you were there. So if you haven't found the person that you really feel is magically meant for you, then you become greater magic within yourself. You do those things that will complete you, that make you feel peaceful, that make you feel whole. And the other part of it is being creative. If you can be creative in your life, you bring that energy out there, and it draws magical spiritual people to you. Creativity is the fuel that the fuel that generates the energy of our spirit and its journey through this lifetime. You are a perfect person. You are whole. If you don't feel you're whole, then let's work on taking care of what you feel you are deficient in until you get to the point where you're fine. You don't need somebody to be your counselor because you seek counsel within yourself. You don't need somebody to love you to make you feel whole because you love yourself and you know you are whole and you are perfect. And you don't need someone to make you laugh because that joy within you will bubble out and create laughter around you. So you become the bait in the trap, and it's not a trap because you can't BS the universe. I tried, it doesn't work. So it's I feel you're right on the edge. You know the areas you need to work on, and I would work on them, whether it's just counseling yourself or having somebody help you with it or talking your things out with other people, of getting to a place where you have that inner joy that radiates from you, and it draws to you someone who's in the same place you are. And when you do that, then you have magic happening. And then the secret to keeping that magic going is that nobody ever lets go of their dreams, of the things they want to accomplish within their lives. Because if you let go your dreams to help another, you extinguish the flame that attracted them. I hope that helps. I wish you luck, because it does look like it's coming, but you just have a little bit of work on yourself to do. Don't look for your other half, unless you're looking in the mirror, and then you'll see it's there. Okay, Greg, what's next?
Okay, next we have Carol Patton, and she just said, "Can I have a reading?"
Sure. Okay. What I'm doing is using Cosmic Deck of Initiation, and I'm putting out a single circle that gives me 12 months, and it lets me know what's going on around you, within you, outside of you, and all sorts of other good stuff. So, God, you're in a great place, Carol. I feel like I've read you before. The element of laughter, is here, and it flows throughout every aspect of your being. You've worked on yourself spiritually magnificently. You have the element of genuine love and laughter and light that lights up a room. You don't always notice it, but other people do. So the element of laughter is here, and it does seem to flow into all aspects of life. And with that laughter, it brings a lightness of spirit that enables everything to flow more easily, more explicitly. And it does feel here as though there's the element of telling you that the only thing that slows you down is you. And I think that's a very good quality with somebody that has the magic inside of them as much as you do. It's good to play I Doubt It, because it keeps you humble. Humble is good. Anytime you take on aspects of grandeur, every time you step onto to a pedestal of any sort, you're guaranteed to fall off. You're not going to do that. So do understand, though, that playing I Doubt It doesn't work, because you're capable of almost anything here. It does feel as though you're evolving into a new understanding of the energy that you have within you that allows you to work with other people, to touch the spirits and souls of other people, and to help people to understand themselves to a greater degree than ever before. You don't judge. You never judge. And that wasn't a statement to you. That was a statement about you. You're evolving into a greater understanding of the purpose of this lifetime for you. And while we all have missions, while we all have things that we are here this lifetime to do, they none of them actually are so grand that they're going to be on Fox News or anything like that. And you're communicating to a greater degree with the spirit within you than most people do. You're listening to that. It feels like dreams and daydreams and synchronicities and coincidences are giving you messages from spirit, and you're paying attention to them. If you're not already writing them down, you really should be. As you move into September, there's a sense here of understanding and letting go of some of the issues that have helped to mold you to become the person that you are today. You have body, mind, and spirit together as you hit the October timeframe, and it does feel as there's a sense of wholeness here that is really quite amazing. It opens you to those portals within that help you to touch into and blend with the spirit within that, of course, has a direct connection to the source of all creation. As you hit the November timeframe, here's where there are new beginnings. Here are fresh starts. You're going in new directions. There are new aspects of you that are opening up, talents and gifts. new areas where you're going to get great joy from. Doesn't mean you're an expert in all of them, but it does mean you're joyful with them. I know I love singing, and so I sang in a church choir. I couldn't carry a tune in a bushel basket. They just put me next to the strongest singer. But what I'm seeing here is you're trying a lot of new things, and in trying the new things, you're finding some that you're really good at and some that you are glad you tried. As you get to December, here's a threshold. You're crossing a threshold into an understanding of this and other dimensions. So after the first of the year, I would say remote viewing for sure, astral travel. The element of writing is here. There's healing energy here. It does feel as though you're moving into new dimensions of self. February has a unity of focus, so you are paying attention to changes you want to make as you go forward in time. And it does feel as you hit the March timeframe, here's whatever you send out to other people in any way returns to you greatly magnified. So whether you're doing Reiki or whether you're writing or whether you're sending out mailings of some sort, whatever you're going to send out, do it in March, because the response will be just magnificent as you go along. February has you, not February, April has, there's work here. Again, working from home more so than, you may work other than home, but working from home especially is going to be very beneficial to you. There are new people and new directions that you're going to be reaching into. And as you hit the May timeframe, it's got freedom here. So you're set free from a lot of the restrictions you've put on yourself. I feel you being very cautious with your gifts, and that's appropriate. And the more cautious you are, the further they'll take you, because you don't want to let them get out of control. So hope that helps. Looks like it's, I hope you get back to me on this one. This looks like a good year. Okay, Greg?
Okay, next up on Facebook, we have Jen Lynn, and she says, "Hi, Barbara. It's Jen from Connecticut. I miss you. I would love," I think she meant to say love, "a reading. Anything for me?"
Absolutely. I miss Connecticut. I miss my garden there. All I have here is clay, and I'm not going to do pottery. So, okay, Jen. Huh. I would say that this is going to be a year where miracles happen for you. And it's going to be very interesting. You're going to work real hard, but it's a time where miracles are going to be happening for you. It feels like it's a really cool time, because you get to the edge of, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And then suddenly everything just kind of dissipates and you move forward. I would say patience is something that you're going to be working on here. And it does feel as though nobody likes to hear working on patience, me included. But what happens is that the greater the patience that you are able to radiate, the more profound the gifts are that are going to be coming to you that you're waiting for. As you get into the July timeframe, here, new beginnings, fresh starts, lots of cool things happening here for you. Definitely new beginnings. And it does feel as though some of them are a surprise to you. It feels as though you're coming in, again, new directions. You're moving in areas you never thought about moving into. I don't know why I see chickens here. Sometimes really weird things come in when I do readings, and I throw them out there because often they're the things that actually mean something. But I see chickens here in the month of July. August has golden rules, so that what you send out returns to you. It's a time in which you're going to be in receipt of stuff from other people that you haven't heard from for a long time, this is a time where you're reconnecting with a lot of people from the past. Going to be interesting. I don't know whether, it seems like there's a big gathering here in August, among other things. As you hit September, there's laughter, joy, and celebration. It feels as though you've reached a step. You've come up a step in a lot of different areas within your life. Spiritual for sure. It may even be professional as well, but on a personal level as well, so that there is this feeling of joy in the month of September, as though it's new beginning time. It's the time, there's music here. There's a lot of excitement. As you hit October, here's where you may play I Doubt It with yourself. Here's where you may hold back before you move forward with something. I think you put a hold on something so that you aren't going to be moving forward as fast or as much as you kind of had hoped to. But it does feel as though once you're through the month of October into November, there's a sense here of almost a sigh of relief, almost as though you've let go of something that's been, you're not burdened anymore. You've let go of whatever burdens you have been carrying on an emotional level. And as you hit December, here's where you start to work again. It's kind of like you would put a lot of things on hold for a long time. Now you're going back to them. Now you're getting re-involved with things that you haven't done in a long time. And it's going to be a very exciting time for you. Busy, terribly, terribly, terribly busy. As you hit January, here you're crossing that threshold. It's the threshold card. It's the very last card I painted. And it really indicates that there's a step up in the spiritual elevation of the consciousness that's within you, giving you access to understanding of greater things above and beyond whatever you have been working on at this particular level in time. It's an aha moment like crazy. And it does feel as though you're moving into new directions with other people as well. So it's a time in which it's almost like, gosh, I almost feel like you've had leg chains on, like you've been handcuffed. I mean, I know you weren't in jail, but it feels as though you have been holding yourself back. And as you hit January, those that have been holding, those things that have been holding you back are no longer there. And so as you move into February, there's the element of the healer within here. So that does mean that there's energy work that you're doing internally. This may be something you do even just at night in your dreams. It may be resolving issues, letting go of things that you thought you had let go of, but you're not really. So in your dreams, you absolutely let go of them. And as you move into the March timeframe, here you're free. There's a freedom here, as though you're no longer encumbered by the past. If you've been seeing someone to help you through some emotional stuff, it feels like by the time you get to March, you're done. It feels as though March is a time where there's a tremendous amount of freedom here. I feel you feeling lighter on your feet than you ever have before. And dowsing rods are here too. Chickens and dowsing rods. If you don't have dowsing rods, I'd get some and play with them. I feel strongly you'd be very good with them. Not necessarily treasure hunting, but well, if you're on a beach and let me take that back. You could do treasure hunting. It's just a matter of what you equate with the term treasure. As you get into April, body, mind, spirit here, there's the potential of a move here. And it does feel as though you're looking for new areas to go to, new areas to get involved in, and new areas to tap your hands into the creativity that's around you. And as you hit May, you have a unity of focus. You know the direction you're going. This whole year is almost a time where you're looking at, where do I go next? And it's on many different levels. Some of it is living situation. Some of it is professional, and then there's creative and there's spiritual. So that as you get into the May timeframe, finding the new directions that you have to go for you, and listening to yourself, not other people. You like to hear other people's opinions, but all they do is confuse you. So journal it down, work with yourself because you are your own best teacher. Okay, hope that helps. Chickens. No idea what chickens means. Chickens and dowsing. You're not going to go dowsing for chickens, obviously, but get back to me on that because that kind of sounds a little interesting. Okay, Greg, what's next?
Okay. We have coming in from YouTube, Autumn Rung, and she just is saying, can I have a general reading?
Okay. Okay. General readings. Well, they do give a lot of information, I'll admit that. Okay. This is going to be a year where you're working a lot. And that's a good thing. It's not hard working, but this is a year which it feels like you're bringing a lot of things into closure in order to give yourself the freedom that you want. So that what's interesting here is that the element of working is going to take on a new meaning for you because it feels as though what you're doing is you're getting ready to move into a new aspect of your own spiritual development. And it does feel that there's this sense, especially this month, of setting yourself free from a lot of the restrictions that you put upon yourself and other people have put upon you, and you let them. So what I'm seeing here is that as you move into the July timeframe, there's a new frequency about your energetic field. It feels like there's a lot of very busy stuff going on here. Almost like I want to tell you to take vitamin pills and try to make sure you get the right amount of sleep, because July seems to be a very busy time for you because you're jumping into a lot of different projects. And I guess for you especially, I would have liked to have seen you do them one at a time instead of all at once. But that's you. You tend to really, if you're going to jump in, you go all over the place. It feels like July's very, very busy. But as you get into the August timeframe, here things seem to be again organized. There's a sense here of your house is in order. You're putting things together so that you're able to address things as their priorities. What are the most important things for you to address, to get to? You're cleaning up a lot of stuff in your life in this next year. And it looks like, again, a lot of work, but very exciting work because you're bringing things to closure. You're bringing yourself into a time frame where you're able to let go of some things that no longer apply to your life or what you need for your life. This is a time where you're looking at things and saying, I'm never going to finish this. Let me get rid of it so I make room for something else that I will focus on, that I will actually accomplish something from. I feel strongly that this is a time where you let go of a lot of stuff. And at the same time, you are clearing the table, so to speak, for new projects that address where you are now, where you are now as far as consciousness goes. And you have an amazing amount of wisdom inside of you. Your consciousness is profound, and you don't give yourself credit for the wisdom that you carry within, because it's a lot of stuff here. You talk to yourself a lot, and even better, you answer yourself. It does feel here as though there is this sense of as you get into the September timeframe, where you begin to understand the great depth of the wisdom that you carry within. And so often you don't give yourself credit for all that you've learned, for all that you've grown into. And you've grown into a tremendous amount of wisdom that has opened up to you over the last year to year and a half. As you hit the October timeframe, there's a sense here of trying to keep everything in order, sequential order. It really looks like there are areas in your life that need organization. And as you get into organizing them, you begin to discover a lot of things that you had started that you now want to finish, that you now feel ready to finish. There's writing here. There's a lot of writing. I don't know if you write, but it does feel like you should be writing. There is publication here too. So, so do pay attention to that. Journaling, a lot of journaling too. I don't know if it's yet to come or if you're already doing it. If you're already doing it, it's more. So I would say as you get into the November timeframe, there's a sense here of addressing issues in your life from your past that you need to let go of. And so as you get into November, very appropriate to write letters to people or to situations or whatever, and then burn them. Don't mail them. But it feels as though you need to get a lot off of your chest. And by writing letters to people that you're not going to mail, hear that you're not going to mail, just getting stuff outside of yourself onto paper. And once you have it on paper, you can burn it, and then it doesn't have to go back inside you. As you hit the January timeframe, wonderful loving energy here. I think it's going to be a Christmas that you'll never forget. You have new people coming into your life, and you have people coming back into your life that haven't been there for a long time. It's a time where there is a sense of reunion, of sharing memories and laughter and light, and it sets the stage for 26, which looks to be a profoundly exciting, abundant time for you. As you get into the January timeframe, you have new people coming into your life. You're attracting new energy to you. There's a sense here of new beginnings and fresh starts. There's a sense of letting go of preconceived opinions of the past, and opening yourself up to the potential of the future. And the future is totally open. There are no restrictions. It looks to be an amazing future for you. And so please don't limit yourself. How can I explain this? Don't go to school to be a nurse, go to school to be a doctor. Don't go to school to be a teacher, go to school to be a teacher's teacher. Don't restrict yourself because you have the potential for a tremendous amount of amazing things here. February, you're transmuting yourself into a new you. So you are becoming a new you, whether it's changing your hair, changing your clothing, changing your job, changing your living situation. There are changes that are just so profound, it's unbelievable. And they make you feel like a new person, a different person. As you hit the March timeframe, there's healing energy here. There's music here as well. And it does feel as though you may find yourself involved in there's music all around you in the month of March. I don't know if you're performing or listening, but this is something that's not just a one-time deal. It's the whole month. And you could easily be inspired by music. You could easily get into the solfeggio music and be using that for meditation every day or something like that. But or you could be in a theater group where you're singing. It could be a lot of different ways, but there's music all around you. And the element of music is uplifting, it is healing, and it is a joyful expression of the spirit within you. And as you hit the April timeframe, here again is music and creative energy. So that the creative energy comes through the portal of music, whether it's listening to music to be inspired for a creative project or a creative endeavor. There is the element of the spiritual stuff is here profoundly, so that in many ways, your consciousness is expanding. You are moving into new levels of understanding of yourself. And as you do that, that wisdom, that pleasure, that joy, that gift is shared by everybody around you. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy. And as you get into the May time frame, there's abundance coming your way, new people bringing new joy and new endeavors to share with you. You have an abundance. It's an abundance of new people, abundance of new energy. It could have some monetary, but when I think of abundance, money is the least of it. If you have an abundance of joy in your life, you're the richest person around. So it looks like it's a profound year for you. A lot of work at the start, but it ends up so profoundly amazing. It's worth everything you put into it. Okay? Okay. Not getting feedback is kind of unusual.
Well, you got a lot of people who was thanking you. Jen did give you some feedback. I'll pop that up. She said, thank you so much. I'd love to talk to you more. Yes, I have dowsing rods.
Oh, cool.
And she said she got them from you years ago. And she used to have chickens too, but no more. So she's not sure about the chickens.
Well, if it's the Jen that I now recognize, I worked with her with the dowsing rods, and I had a small group, and I hid silver dollars all throughout my backyard and told them they could go around the plants, but they could not get in and they could not dig any of my plants up. But the silver dollars were hidden all throughout my backyard. And she was one of the ones that came back with a handful of silver dollars.
Okay, great. Patty said thank you, and what a pleasure. And like I said, you got a few other thank yous. Next up is Michelle V. She's on Facebook, and she says, hello, Barbara. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the reading today. Can you please tell me what's coming up for me in my work/career? I'm open to any message. Thank you so much.
Didn't we do her early? Her? Was she the other?
Already? No, I think she's thanking you ahead of time. This is the first message we got from her.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm going to take it off the screen so we.
Work career. It feels like it's time for a change. As far as work goes, I feel that there are restrictions sort of where you are now. And it does feel as though you're not able to be as creative as you would like to be. I feel that strongly there is just such amazing creative energy inside of you that you aren't able to utilize it to the fullest extent. And that because of that, there's a sense of frustration because all you have to give, you're not able to give where you are at this moment in time. If I look at the cards, it does feel as though probably as you get into the first of next year, there's where I see the main change for you. But it seems to me that in order for you to move in the direction that you need to move, you need to be utilizing your creative energy in new and different ways. Now, when I talk about creativity, I'm not saying do something creative that you can sell. I'm saying doing something you do that you do for fun, for the pleasure of it. And if you start to get paid for it, then it doesn't count. So there's nothing here at this moment in time that is actually fueling that need for the spirit to be able to be creative and to bring new energy into your life. I feel that as you move into probably the fall time frame, September especially, there will be an opportunity for a shift and a change within your job, whatever you're doing. And if it allows you greater freedom to be more creative, jump at it. And if it's more restrictive, don't jump, because it does feel as though you need to have an outlet for this creativity. I don't see you doing anything creative in the day in your home life, your home environment. And what fuels our journey, whether it's spiritual or physical, is our creative energy. And as long as you're being creative, as long as you're doing something that gives you joy and makes you happy, and you don't have to be good at it either. You just have to take joy from it. It just feels as though as we get more and more into the fall time frame, and then December anyhow, by December, and it feels as though you have started to initiate utilizing your creativity in new and different ways. And it could be anything from doing, line dancing to I don't know, farming angleworms. I mean, it could be anything that gives you joy and pleasure. Once you are radiating the joy and the pleasure that you are getting in your life, it changes the way people look at you. It means that they will give you opportunities that you might not have had before. And it does feel like what you're going to be doing is more and more of finding that creativity inside of yourself. I know you wanted career stuff, but if you can start to get that energy flowing inside of you, people will see you differently, and you'll be offered things that will give you the opportunity to be far more well rewarded in your professional life. And it does feel as though that will be coming. Geez, it starts around September, and then by the time we get to the December timeframe, here's where your intuition helps you to move into new directions. And at the first of the year, it does feel as though your career is going to enable you to go into a new direction that you've not even anticipated at this moment in time. Lots of times we get things set in our heads, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm trained for. This is what I went to school for. That doesn't mean that that's what you have to do the rest of your life. I was a school teacher. Of course, in a way, I'm teaching through doing readings, but I never would have considered that when I was in the classroom. It would have been, this is my life, this is my career. And the reality is, your career is what gives you the greatest pleasure, which moves you in the best directions, the most abundant directions for your life. And so I think you're not in the right place right now. I feel strongly you're going to be moving into understanding what that new direction is going to be. And when someone gives you an opportunity that's not against the law or your moral values, and is economically appropriate, jump at it, try it out, try it on. You can always try something else on, but it just seems to me that you've restricted yourself by yourself. So being creative is going to open up all the channels and going to draw more opportunities in your direction. Hope that helps, because you got a great deal of stuff here, and it looks very much like you're moving in new directions. It's just that the movement you haven't seen it physically, but it's there energetically for sure in the cards. Okay.
Jen, by the way, said yes, that was her, and that she enjoyed that day using the dowsing rods. A little more feedback there. Okay, next up we have on YouTube Stanton Mick, who earlier said that he remembers you from the typical skeptic, he said. And then he said, since it's not too busy, I would love a reading for the upcoming months as I move my life in new directions.
Okay. Typical skeptic. Oh, I did readings there. Right. Okay. All righty. Typical skeptic is a podcast. So nice to see so many people here.
Yeah, we got a lot of activity.
Okay. Well, then we're not going to worry about being able to fill another hour. Okay. Moving on to a new life, new directions. Well, you know, there's a song, one of the line is, and it is, "You've only just begun." Carpenter sang it. That's what I feel here. It feels as though there is a sense of, gosh, it's almost like it's a new life for you. It's a new beginning for you. It's a new you. You've crossed a threshold, rounded a corner, crossed a barrier. I don't know what other trite things I can say about it, except that you're moving into a time frame in which your spiritual energy, fueled by the higher consciousness, is bringing greater wisdom into your life, so that you are a different person than you were 5 years ago. There's a wisdom here. There's new energy here. There's new insight here. There's new understanding. And what I find so profound is the spiritual energy is here. And that doesn't mean that you're a crazy person with spiritual stuff and going to put on a white sheet and going to the mountaintop to meet the mothership. It means that on a very deep level, you are more into your spirituality than a lot of the people around you, that there is a greater understanding of what is driving people, what is opening them up to new dimensions and new directions. It feels as though, especially this summer, you have a greater freedom inside of you to look in new directions and new ways of expressing yourself and new ways of reaching into the spiritual wisdoms that are inside of you. It looks as though there's been a lot of books, a lot of intellectual stuff going on here. And what is profound is that while you've read books, you've studied, you have drawn information in, the wonderful thing about your energy is that, yes, you did all of that, but you took it into yourself and you made it your own. And because of that, there's greater wisdom in you. There's greater wisdom coming out of you than went into you, which is really profound. The element of writing is here. Lots of writing. Don't know if you write, but you should be writing. There is a sense here of bringing the light into new areas of life that are not seeing the light. It seems to me here that as you move into July, there's a new freedom within you, and body, mind, spirit together, so that the summertime is a time where you're experimenting with ways of sharing your energies, just sharing your insight, opening yourself up to new modalities that you haven't utilized in a long time. And in a long time, I'm talking about past lives, because you've opened the portals to past lives for a lot of those energies to sort of filter through into this life, so that you're inspired by weird, strange, and wonderful things, and you start to accumulate them into your total reality and how you're manifesting your energy within your reality. And there's a joyful excitement here as you hit the September timeframe. There's the element of listening to the wisdom of the ages. Okay, it almost sounds like Manly P. Hall's book. So if you haven't read his Secret Wisdoms of the Ages, I would definitely pick it up and read through it. But it does feel here as though there's great antiquity here, but it is being brushed off, dusted off, and made new through your intellectual and your spiritual tools that you're utilizing as you move into the month of October. A sense here of love, light, and laughter, a lot of joy, a lot of celebration. It feels as though you are moving in new directions, and it does feel healing is here, and a lot of healing modalities are here. There's Reiki, and there's Tai Chi, and there's sound therapy. There are a lot of new modalities that you're going to be trying on for size and utilizing, and you may well find one or two of them that really suit you well. You pursue more so than you have in the past. A lot of laughter, a lot of joy. December has love, universal love in it. It feels as though this is a time where you're spreading your wings. You're not an angel, don't worry. But literally you're spreading the impact of your energetic field is broadening. I guess that's a better way of putting it. Though I did like spreading your wings, but you're not going to fly unless it's in an airplane. So as you get into the January timeframe, here's where things become so busy, and yet you are so joyful with all of the things going on. It's almost as though you feel like I don't know how old you are, but a long time ago there were these guys, jugglers, that did the plates on the sticks, and they would get all the plates going, and they would go around spinning all the sticks to keep all the plates in the air. That's what I see you doing. And I'm seeing you not doing that, but having so many projects going on. People wonder how you're able to address everything as fully as you are. But there's a joyful spiritual connection to everything in your life. And as you hit the February timeframe, there's a sense here of magic and miracles, expecting the unexpected. There's publication here too. There's lots of writing and publication. I almost want to say singing, but I don't quite want to say it. So I don't know if it's because you don't have a voice or it's not music with words that you're writing. I'm not sure what I'm seeing. You may have a beautiful voice for all I know, but there's this sense here of magic and miracles and opportunities coming to you that you don't expect. There are offers coming out of the woodwork that are going to be very interesting for you. And please consider everything, because, and at some point, pick some things that are just for fun. Because if you're not having fun, your energy starts to stagnate. You have to have a good time. You are the kind of person that celebrates life. And if life isn't moving, if life isn't growing, you're not celebrating and things slow down. So make sure you're celebrating life. Make sure that what you're doing is fun. There's a sense here of new books, lots of new books, lots of light, working with the light. As you get into the April timeframe, there's abundance coming your way, and it does feel as though there's the element of compensation as well. I don't feel it's because someone has crossed over. It's money that you're earning for yourself, but it's more than you have anticipated. And it's going to be a very joyful time. Please be careful, be cautious, and don't spend it all in one place. Okay, there you go.
Okay. Michelle said, wonderful reading, and thank you for the insight. I appreciate you. And next up, we have Betty. Betty is on YouTube, and she says, hi, Barbara. Would love a reading for the next 2 months if you have time. Thank you so much for all you do.
Oh, 2 months. Okay. Let's check out the next 2 months. I'm putting all the cards out because sometimes you need reference. Gosh, June and July. Well, if you could have chosen any 2 cards in the deck, it would have been a guardian angel and a miracle card, and that's what the next 2 months hold, which is quite profound. it does feel as though the next 2 months are going to be very revelatory for you. It feels as though there's a sense here of spiritual energy flowing intensely around and through you for the next couple of months. It feels as though you've asked for insight, you've asked for guidance, and it's come to you, it's with you, it's within you. And it does feel as though the element of magic and miracles, expecting the unexpected, and you committing to new directions and a new future. It's almost as though you've drawn a lot of things to a close, and it's time for you to take on a new stage of life. Every 10 years or so, give or take, we all reinvent ourselves. And you're at one of those times. And so over the next 3 months, I would look at you changing a lot of things within your life. May change your hair, may change your clothing style. You may change your appetite, what you eat. I'm feeling you're reinventing yourself. You're letting go of aspects of yourself that no longer apply to your needs and your wants. And I feel that during the next 2 months, 3 go into August, you're going to sit down and you're going to sort of make a list of those directions that you want to go in, the things you want to accomplish, the things you want to draw into your life, and also the things that you feel that you no longer need to have, to cling to, or to hold on to, because you've been through, my God, you've been through dark night of the soul. And because of that, you are a fresh, clean spirit. And it's almost as though you've there's a whole new you, and you've been given another chance at moving in new directions and helping other people, but helping other people in your own growth process. It's not that you're dedicating yourself to do things for other people. You are, and that's where a lot of people get confused. In serving other people, you're not serving yourself. In serving yourself first, the overflow hits other people and serves them. Mother Teresa was a profoundly spiritual lady, and what she did, because of her service to God, helped other people. So it's not becoming a martyr, because you're not a martyr and you're not going to be one. But it's as though you're looking for a way to help humanity, and in doing so, you're going to grow and expand and become a wiser, more spiritual, more loving, more giving person. It's a matter of, at this point in time, June, July, and August here, this is a time when you're committing to making changes in your life. But do understand, you don't do it all at once. You don't knock yourself out. You get your list together when you start working on your list, asking for service from the spirit within, which will, if you're journaling, give you the information that you're seeking. You're definitely moving into new directions. You've opened that portal from your consciousness to the higher consciousness, to the spirit that is carried within, that has a link to the source of all creation. Pay attention to the wisdom that comes through and apply it to your life, and be amazed at the changes that it's going to make. I hope that helps. Cool time. Very cool time. Okay.
Okay, good. Just from a little feedback from Stanton Mick, he said his name is Dan, and he just wanted to let you know that he did start reading. He mentioned that while you were doing his reading. And then he said, wow, so amazing. Thanks. Yes, joyful expression. Much appreciated. So I just wanted to give you that feedback.
Thank you.
We have Nancy Morgan. No, I'm sorry. There's 2 Nancys. This Nancy was first. Let me bring her up first. Nancy Ray. got a little fooled there for a second. Nancy said, my reading from you is fantastic. When do you see me finding that place so I could finally move? Looks like you read her before.
A few people here and there. Let's be gentle with Greg. He's never done this before. You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
I'll double your salary. Okay. Finding the place so I can finally move. Well, from what I can see here, you're looking too hard. The place will find you. I think that for what I'm seeing here, you're trying to control and thinking you know what you want and where you want it. And it's not what your spirit wants. So I'd back off everything and I would take the time to just sort of sit with yourself and determine what it is that makes you happy and joyful. What kind of environment makes you happy and joyful? What is it you want within your life that will make you happy and joyful? So often when we're talking about a move, we restrict ourselves by what we are requiring. I know the couple times that I've been looking for a house, oftentimes what I found was a home that didn't have a lot of the physical things in it that I had thought I needed. So sit back for a while and give yourself a chance to really decide what it is and what kind of environment and what kind of surroundings are going to make you joyful and happy. It does feel I would say that you will find what you're looking for when you can relax, among other things, and not feel pressured. I do feel within the next 6 to 9 months, you will find exactly what it is that your spirit wants you to have. Now, spirit doesn't often check with the checkbook to see how much we have to spend. So do understand that you may find a number of places that are just perfect, but out of your range. But the more you start working on what is it that would make you feel joyful and happy and content. I think you're looking too much physical stuff and you're not looking at what your spirit needs. And your spirit and your intellect are going back and forth with each other and not allowing you to find what it really is that's going to be perfect for you. And by the time you get to January, it does feel like that's there. You might try, I'm not going to suggest I would start journaling the kind of atmosphere you want, the kind of surroundings that you want to have around you, the kind of people you want to have around you, the kind of food and things like that. Just get more in touch with what your spirit wants, because once you're really in touch with what the spirit is looking for, you're going to be able to find it. I would say that by the time you get to January, you've really zeroed in. I would say even by October, you're crossing a threshold of understanding in July. So in July, between July and August, there's a sense here of having a greater understanding of what is going to be most appropriate for you. And once you have that feeling and allow yourself to be drawn to it, in all reality, what's really right is going to come to you without you going to it. But I know you can't stop looking. and that may confuse you a little bit. But it's okay to scan multiple listings and stuff like that. But don't drive yourself crazy with price range and stuff like that. Spend time for a month or so to really determine what it is that's important to you. And because I know when I moved, I had a list of kind of environment I wanted, not the place, not the design, not the color, nothing, but the environment. And when you hit that environment, you'll just know it. So take some time, sit with yourself, talk to yourself, and figure out just really not intellectually what can I afford, but spiritually what do I need, and you'll draw it to you. Absolutely. Get back to me because I'd be interested in what you finally find, because it does look like even by September you have a pretty good idea. So I'll be here twice a month, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Get back to me. Hope that helps you. Okay, Greg.
Okay, next up is the other Nancy, Nancy Morgan. She says, "Hello, Barbara. Thank you for the fantastic reading. When do you see me finding that right place to move?" Oh, it's just
That's the same one.
two different Nancys, though. Nancy Ray, and maybe she's on Facebook and YouTube. Is that the same Nancy? Well, I think we maybe should. We'll go to the next one. We'll give her a chance to comment.
Okay.
To see if it's a different. If Nancy Morgan, if you're different than Nancy Ray, let us know. And we'll go over to Medina Crystal. First, she said, "Hi, Barbara," and then she said, "May I have a reading, please?"
Absolutely. Love to. This is a very spiritual lady, by the way. Because her energy smacks me immediately. In a good way. Wow. So she's I'm gonna trip into past lives for a minute. One show I'll have to just do past lives, but not tonight. But I have to tell you, your spirituality, your spirit, your connection to the spirit within is just amazing. You have a spiritual energy that just glows. And in past lifetimes, you have been a prophet. You have been a spiritual teacher. You have been a spiritual healer. You have in a couple of lifetimes sacrificed yourself for your belief in spiritual energy. And this lifetime is one in which you are sharing your spiritual philosophies and energies in a different and new way. So no burning at the stake or anything like that. But your philosophies are profound. The way you counsel people is magnificent. And the power of your loving words is quite phenomenal. You have a sense here of understanding the universe and how we go through cycles. And in many ways, you have watched humanity cycle through many different phases over the thousands of years that your spirit has been incarnate on this earth, and off and on and off and on and off. You have a wonderful laugh, an amazing ability to share joy and inspiration. And it does feel as though you're at a place here where people are drawn to you because of the energy within you, and they don't know why. And you have a wonderful sly smile when you recognize somebody who doesn't know why they're there, but they just know they have to be. I would say that as we move into the July timeframe, you're going to be utilizing creative ways of putting information out there so that people don't realize they're being taught spirituality, but they are. There's a sense here of music being a part of your life, a big part of your life. And there was a time where I'm not sure what is it, again, your past lives keep popping in here. There was a past life when you were a singer. You went, gosh, this goes back to England. You went way back to England. You were a minstrel that went town to town to town to town. You were the walking newspaper with a mandolin or whatever you were strumming, and you had an amazing voice. I think you have an amazing voice this lifetime too. But music is a way of transmitting information and spiritual philosophy and teaching that a lot of people don't recognize, but you do. There is a sense here of moving into new genres for you. If indeed, hopefully you play an instrument of some sort now. If you don't, you may take one up, because there's definitely that talent and that gift here, and you have a compelling voice. There is no doubt about that. So as you come into the August timeframe, new flow of life, new aspect of life, new directions you're going. By the time you hit September, your house is in order. You're moving in new directions. There may be a move. There may be a move here for you. Into new, first a move into new areas of tapping into other people's energies, and there's a physical potential for a physical move as well. I mean, if not in September, certainly one that you're going to be thinking about and may within the next 12 months decide to do. As you hit October, there's a new flow of continuity of energy, new energy here. You feel the downloads of energy that come through on a very regular basis lately. I would say that you may have had in the last little while little headaches now and then and when you get up, because you had heavy downloads overnight. You're assimilating new energy. It's like you're a siphon. You're pulling it all in. It's really, really cool. And then again, of course, making it your own and sharing it with others. As you get into the November timeframe, there is this new beginnings, fresh starts. You're moving into new directions. You may find yourself drawn in first to new people and then to new directions and new ways of sharing your advice, your philosophy, touching into new aspects of yourself. As you hit the December timeframe, there's a new energy here. I'm not saying you have to become a spiritual pastor, but I think you already are. And so in many ways, you don't have to get ordained or anything like that, but it does feel here that a lot of times you teach through your how you speak with people. There is a sense here of being a counselor, a spiritual counselor, and a profound one. And the older you get, the better you get. As you get into the January timeframe, there's a sense here of powerful energy here, powerful light. It's as though you are finding new material to work from, to utilize, to expand yourself. There was a lifetime you had a lifetime in the Library of Alexandria that you just soaked up the information. And it's all in there. It's a matter of, are you going to draw it all out and utilize it? And I think you do. I think you are. There's stuff here from Samaria. Your spirit has been all over the place. February has being initiated into a new phase of development for yourself. There's a new understanding of directions you're going to be going in. And as you hit the March timeframe, there's the element of pregnancy. And I'm not saying you're going to get pregnant, but I am saying that there is a birth of a new aspect of yourself that is here, that brings new qualities into the fore that other people are going to be recognizing and fascinated by. A sense of getting into truthfulness, spiritual truthfulness, not, not a walking lie detector, but it feels to me as though you're recognizing truth in many areas that you hadn't seen it before, which will have you step back a little bit in the month of April and reevaluate your thoughts about certain directions, certain philosophies out there, and possibly directions that you want to take yourself in. And as you get into the May timeframe, a sense here of karma coming to roost. You're going to find yourself gifted by many people, and what it is karma coming back, and it's positive karma from past lives that you're getting given back, material, philosophies, kindnesses that are a result of things you've done in past lives. Very interesting stuff. I hope you're writing stuff down because you've got a tremendous amount of stuff inside of you. Hope that helps. Okie doke. Hello, Craig.
Sorry, I was on mute. All right, Michelle gave us some feedback. She said, wonderful reading. Thank you for the insight. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
And then Dan, I figured I'd let us know that he said that I'm doing very well. So that's good. So okay. Next up, we have, let's see, who do we have next? We have, give me a second here. I got to find, there we go. Just Bellini says, you read me once before, you were great. And then they asked for a reading. Here it is. If you have time, may I have a general reading? These have been inspiring.
Good. I learned a lot. I think one of the coolest things about doing readings, for me especially, is that I learn from every reading I do. Trust me, I'm listening, and it's a great learning experience for me. So I am very grateful that people, want to have insight from me. Because sometimes there are things that come out of my mouth that surprise even me. So, and every now and then I'll say something like, that sounds so good, I think I've got to write that one down. Okay, so you're at a time, at this moment in time, where there's a lot of healing energy that's going on around you. Not that you're sick, but that you are healing things from the past. You're letting go of things from the past. So the next 12 months, you're going to be sort of letting go of things that you've been carrying around that no longer have any validity for you. So you're just going to let things go and lighten the load that you've been carrying, because you've been carrying a heavy load here. I would say that this is a time frame where you are definitely open to new beginnings and fresh starts. And I do feel that that's what's happening here. It's a matter of allowing yourself to grow into the newness that is available to you. I feel strongly that there's a sense here of new directions that you're going in, and this summer is going to be a profound time for you. There's a sense here of having the ability to actually understand where people are coming from, that you haven't had turned on. You've always had the quality, you just haven't used it. But you're able to really understand where people are coming from. Not so much of are they telling the truth or not, but more or less of where they're coming from. Are their intentions noble? Are they involved with things you're involved in for the right reasons? And you get a feeling, and it feels like it's your stomach that is going to be the one that really cues you in on what's going on. You're not going to throw up when people walk in the door or anything like that, but your stomach is going to kind of let you know if things aren't right. And so, unless you've had Mexican food, and then all bets are off. But it does feel as though being able to understand what's going on around you to a greater degree than you ever have before. There's a new sense of harmony within your life. There's a new sense of things beginning to mesh and flow. It feels as though there's a new growth here, that you are growing into a new person. And what's happening here in June, July, and August is that the fine tuning is going on here, so that there's healing going on. There's letting go of stuff you no longer need to carry. There's a new perspective. Your eyes are clearing. And eyes, it feels as though you may have been having a little trouble with your eyes. Certainly, if it goes on, have it checked out. But my feeling is that because of the shifts inside of you, your eyes are kind of going through a shift and change as well. And that as time goes on, things are going to clarify for you tremendously. As you hit the September timeframe, here's where there's the birth of a new aspect of you. And there's a strength here. There's a beautiful, kind strength here that is really very profound. And it feels to me as though your words are taking on new and different meaning. There's a more insightful focus in what you say. You don't speak out rapidly. You're not speaking out off the cuff as much as once you did. Your responses are calculated. They're quiet. They're insightful. And they're meaningful. And it's a whole new you. And people are going to begin to see the changes in you. Now, some people are going to drift away and other people are going to drift towards you. So just step back and see what happens, because the changes in you are so profound. There is a strength inside of you that most people haven't noticed before. And what you're going to be presenting is a whole new you. People are going to ask if you've been in therapy, or, did somebody hit you in the head or whatever, but there's a new you. And it's important that you understand that there is greater strength inside of you than you ever thought was there. And as you hit the October timeframe, you're looking at your life, you're looking at the changes that you've made and the changes that are yet to come, and you're seeing the growth, and you're seeing how you are changing and growing into a new perspective of yourself. And that means that there's a new understanding of greatness that is here. In the November timeframe, there is spotlight falling on you. I don't know what it is you do as work, but it does feel as though people are paying greater attention to you than they ever have before. It does feel as though there is a sense here of people recognizing some of the greatness that is inside of you. Now, I don't think there are going to be statues to you or anything like that. Maybe, long in the future after you've passed over and stuff. But at this moment in time, there is a greatness here that people are beginning to sense. They won't be able to put their hand on it or their finger on it, but there is this new strength inside of you, and it does come from you understanding the power that you have within you and the connections you have within you, and the fact that you are a summation of thousands of incarnations that bring wisdom and greatness into this lifetime. You're going to be standing up for yourself more, and it's going to be at places and times where people notice, and you're going to find that you're going to have more connections than you thought you had ever before. As you hit the January timeframe, there's a new flow of energy here, definitely, a greater continuity of flow. You aren't as fragmented as you were probably in the last month or so. It feels as though there's a great continuity here and new direction. And you may well be considering a change of direction within your life as well. Don't jump off tall buildings at a single bound or anything like that. But if something is calling to you, change, investigate and move towards the new directions, because I feel strongly that you're feeling these urges to shift and change and move in new direction, and you just don't know where to go. And the best thing to do is to let the spirit within you be your guide. And, I'm not Jiminy Cricket. I'm not saying your conscience. I'm saying the spirit within you. And, you'll get that information through dreams and daydreams and moments of absolute inspiration when thoughts come to you out of the blue. Write them down, because once you write them down, you create a channel between the physical reality and the spiritual reality. And that means that the spirit within you is able to connect more directly and feed you more information and insight. As you move into the February timeframe, what you send out returns to you greatly magnified. You're going to find that you're lucky beyond imagination. And I'm not talking lottery numbers. I'm just saying you're going to find yourself at the right place at the right time. You're going to meet people that will all of a sudden give you the kind of break that you need. I am seeing a lot of books around you, a lot of wisdom, a lot of ancient wisdom. And it does feel as though you're pulling that information into this reality, but evolving it into this time frame so it's more appropriate for this time frame. As you get into the March timeframe, there's a new sense of understanding that you're paying forward a lot of energy that you've gathered from this lifetime and other lifetimes. So you're kind of making sure that the next lifetime is even more abundant than this one. There is abundance here. There is definitely great abundance here. And there's a sense here of another home. I don't know if you now have two homes, but it does feel as though there are two places you call home. And it does feel as though as you get into the April timeframe that putting your house in order, getting rid of things that are just piled up in places that no longer have any validity to you or your life. Getting rid of the past. If something holds beautiful memories, hold on to it. If it doesn't hold beautiful memories, then let it go for someone else to create a good memory with it. As you come into the April timeframe, there's a deep sense here of maybe I need a different home or another home. Okay, so there are boats here. Lots of boats. The first time I've seen that tonight. You may be taking a journey in a boat. You may be maybe a cruise, or you may have a boat and you may weekend on it. There are boats here, and I'm seeing more than one boat. So that'll be interesting. I can't tie it to anything. All I know is I'm seeing boats here. Salt water, not fresh. Oh, okay. This is a stretch. Just remember I said boats. But there may be a houseboat here. And if you end up in April in a houseboat, I want to know about it, because that would be really cool. So May, attracting new people to you. It does feel as though that there is a new energy here that is attracting lots of new people to you. Some of them very special. So do be open to that. Some may be very unusual, but definitely special. You are the kind that attracts unique ones, which is even cooler. Hope that helps. Houseboat. Could be a houseboat. Okay. Sorry.
Okay. So Nancy, just with some feedback, said she is the same person. They're not to read her again, but she also said that, let's see, where is it? There we go. She said that she had already written her journal and would like, no, is that right? Yeah, she had given some feedback a few times. Anyway, all right, let's go back now. The next person up is Carrie Ann, and she said, "What do you see in my love life?"
Sure, you want me to look into your love life? That could be interesting. Okay. All righty. Love life. Well, okay. I would say that at this point in time, you are definitely being inspired in new directions. I mean, if I'm just looking at the relationship area and the partnership area, I would say that it's a time for getting to know yourself better. I would say that understanding that for every action there is a reaction. And I would say that love life is something we all want to have part in our life. Absolutely. It does look to me as though your love life is best celebrated with many people in different ways. Love has many different faces and phases and faces. So asking me about your love life could mean anything from a partner to friendships to animals. So it's a very broad spectrum you've given me to look at. I would say the most important thing I'm seeing about that has to do with the love life would be that you have to understand that with every action there is a reaction. So if you want something in your life, then it's important that you be giving something. If you're in a relationship, it's sort of like what you give is what you get back in return if it's done appropriately. So there's so much change going on in your life here that I would say that aspect of your life has a broader spectrum than I think what you intended. But the reality here is you're at a time where there's magic, where there's tapping into spiritual energy, where there's pulling body, mind, and spirit together. There's Phoenix rising energy here. You're becoming a new and different person. So I strongly believe that you're taking a good look at those people you're attracting to yourself and deciding if maybe there are other qualities you want in people and moving gently along until you get to and not moving along, but living your life as richly and as purely and as joyfully as you can will draw to you someone who is similar to you. And I've said this before, and for you, absolutely, it's true that you've worked so hard on yourself in your life that pay attention to the people that you're surrounding yourself with. That's a reflection of what you are internally. I have found that surrounding myself with people I love and who love me brings greater richness into my life. And if a partner is appropriate, they turn up. And here's the big thing. You are so spiritually oriented. There are going to be times in your life where the spiritual will take precedence over a relationship. And then it will back off so that you can so that you can have a time with a partner. But at the same time, you have to keep going with your spiritual journey because that's what is driving you in this lifetime. That's what you're here to do. So I'm not saying you won't have partners, but I do feel strongly that the more you focus on yourself and generating that spiritual energy inside of you, will draw someone to you who is doing the exact same thing. And for a time, you'll have magic like crazy. And then both of you will have to turn around and get back involved in what you're doing. I have never in my life sought a relationship, but I've had some amazing relationships. I feel you're at the same place. You're spiritually drawn in special directions. And because of that, kind of as a reward for the good work you're doing, you'll attract to yourself someone you can celebrate with for a time, and then you'll move on and keep going. It really looks fascinating, Carrie. It may sound discouraging, but it means that you get to share so much profound, wonderful spiritual energy with so many different people. Trust me, it's as rewarding as anything could possibly be. Hope that helps. Okay.
All right, good. So feedback. Just Bellini said, great reading. Thank you. April in a houseboat. Cool. What Nancy was saying before is that your advice was right on. That's why I pulled that up, really.
Okay.
She's saying she's journaling about a place. So now we have someone that interviewed you in the past, right? She said, Tamu, and she said, I'd love to have a reading from you, please. She said, let me go through a few messages. She said that it's been 7 years, I think, since I interviewed you on my channel.
Yep, I met her through Jeffrey Dougherty.
All right. And she said she had bought your second edition and loved the travel size and still have copies of your first edition. So.
Oh, wow. Well, then she should enjoy. Short commercial here. For the cards, we have an app that you can put on your phone. And the link is on my website on the Cosmic Deck of Initiation site. And it's amazing. It has all the cards. It has all the information that's in the books. And it's a lot of fun. And it's really inexpensive. And Greg there did most of the work on the graphic stuff. So that's one of the reasons he gets so much money. He doesn't get a lot of money. Okay. Poor like the rest of us. I'm so glad to see you again. It has been 7 years. Okay. So, you are probably one of the most profoundly ethical and moral people ever to walk the earth. You absolutely, maybe not ever, but it's phenomenal because you are true to your word and your moral code is amazing, and you don't cut corners. And I love the fact that you are, you stand up for what you believe in, even if nobody agrees with you, but you will stand up for what you believe in, which is a remarkable quality. I would say that this month is a time when you are so open to new beginnings and new directions and fresh things. It feels as though there's a sense of new freedom here for you, and you're growing into new aspects of yourself. It feels as though there's a sense here of opening up and sharing a lot of your own inner philosophies that you've sort of been working on for a very long time. There's writing here. There's books being published. There's a sense here of letting your philosophies kind of find a way out there to find others that agree with your directions. As we move into the July timeframe, the element of free will is here. So that means that there are changes that you've been thinking about making, but you're not sure of. And certainly as they open to you, you flow into them. It's not a matter of you making choices or decisions. It's a matter of you waiting for the way to open and flowing into it. And it does feel as though that's the way you work. You absolutely don't push, you allow, and you just you flow with the energy that in the directions that it goes. As you move into the August timeframe, here's creative energy. Here's your free spirit. You're talking a lot more with a lot of people. I feel strongly that there is a sense here of being a counselor of some sort and moving in new directions. I feel strongly spiritual counseling is a direction that you may want to go in, and you may well want to get ordained because you are profoundly, sincerely, beautifully anchored in your spirituality, and you don't let anyone sway you. You know what's appropriate and right, and that's the way you flow. And it would be a rare thing for anybody to influence you in a negative way. It's just not possible. There's the speaking in front of people, and then speaking as a counselor of some sort as well as you get into the August timeframe. As you get into September, it does feel as though there's healing energy here. It feels as though you're working with your own inner energetics. There's Reiki here. There's dream stuff here. It's almost as though, this is from a past life. You worked in one of the Greek or Roman dream temples. You were one of those that helped people to interpret their dreams as they came out of their dream states. And if I go back even further, gosh, you've got Delphi here as well. Not sweeping the floors, but working with understanding what was coming out of the oracle's mouths and being trained to be one. So you have this wonderful energy inside of you that has brought wisdom forward lifetime after lifetime for sure. And it does feel as though there is a sense of wanting to share those wisdoms with other people. And you're going to find people are drawn to you because of that, intrigued by the antiquity of your wisdom, yet applied to the times in which they are being shared in. As you get into the October timeframe, there's the law of attraction here. So you're going to be attracting new people to you. You're going to be attracting new insights and new directions and new possibilities for directions that you can go in, that you can experience in, and then share your wisdom there and bring it back and share it with other people. A lot of this has to do with dream state stuff. As you get into the November timeframe, you're able to tie together a lot of different modalities that you've learned over time to create something that is new and unique for yourself. And it looks as though it's a really exciting pattern that you're creating. And as you get into the December timeframe, there's a sense here of getting confirmation from the other side. And it does feel as though you're drawing energy from not only source, but from people that you have known that have crossed over. It's not going to be unusual for you to get messages, whether they're in a dream state or whether they're symbolic. I don't know which way to, or all of the above could be, but you're getting messages from spirit. Please write it down. Keep track of the messages you get because they will apply to your reality tremendously as you go forward in time. You have Phoenix rising energy here in the month of January. Does feel as though there's an opening for you to pour that information into new sources, resources, into directions. And Phoenix energy is reborn out of the ashes of the old. So I do feel that you're making major changes in your life, the direction that you're moving in, and the kind of material that you're dealing with, what no longer applies to you or the modalities that you've used in the past. You let go of only to embrace new and more profound modalities as you move forward in time that come through spirit. February has a sense here of utilizing your talents and your gifts in new and unusual places it feels as though there may be travel here. You may find yourself being in parts of the world that call to you compassionately. And much as I'm reluctant to tell anybody to travel, it does feel as though there may be travel for you, but it will be for humanitarian purposes. So I think you're going to be fine. As you hit March timeframe, here there are legalities taken care of. Doesn't look as though you're being sued or anything like that, but the scales are being balanced. And here, this is a cool part. In the month of March, you're going to be able to see what goes around comes around profoundly in your life, in the case of other people, and it's going to be with people that you feel have wronged either the people around them or even humanity, and you're going to see the balance that comes out here. It does feel as though it's very, very profound, and it's going to be exciting for you as you hit the that's March, April, body, mind, spirit coming together here. And it does feel as though you're drawing new people to yourself, new groups, lots of new groups, different groups, all with different flavors connected to them, so that you're group hopping. Don't try to get them all together; they won't go. But it looks like it's a creative time frame for you. And as you hit that was April, May is dualities in the home. 2 places you call home, 2 directions you want to go in. And it does feel as though you may find yourself moving around a little bit in the month of May, moving you to a place, a section of the country that is more welcoming to your talents and your gifts. Hope that helps. And oh, thank you. We'll have to get together. We'll have to chat one of these days. Okay, Greg, I think we've done it.
Yeah, there's a few more people, but I guess we ran out of time. Is that?
Well, we'll be here. We'll be here in 2 weeks to run the RIP again. So everybody, I'm sorry if I didn't get to you, but absolutely check back with us in 2 weeks. We'll do it again. Bring your friends. So thank you. And thank you, Greg. You did a wonderful job.
Thank you so much.
For a first time, did great.
Lots of fun.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, and good night.